Hello, welcome back everyone to premium free content brought to you by me, Mr. Bane. Today is going to be a super exciting one because as you can tell, we are going to be playing through Shadow's campaign. Now I heard from a lot of you it's going to be a little bit harder, but we're going to see how my skills fare. But before we start, make sure if you want to see more of this type of content or if you want to see me talk about different topics, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you are informed when I post another video. I already went ahead and double checked, triple checked the manual to read up all the skills. So hopefully I will fare a little bit better this time while I decide to talk about some important things pertaining to YouTube creation, or just a YouTuber, a content creator, a Sonic tuber, a videographer, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to teach you some tips, tricks, and some things to keep in mind when you want to be on a platform such as YouTube. The number one thing at my priority list is you need to stop copying all these big brand content creators such as BlueVivacity. One thing you really need to keep in mind is that they operate on a completely different level than starting out as a small content creator. The algorithm works completely differently for them than it does for us. Now, I know a lot of people toss out the word algorithm without really knowing what it is or what does it mean. I mean, we all know that it's pertaining to how YouTube works, but I'm going to simplify it down to something that you could understand using a simple analogy. The algorithm is much like a restaurant, okay? You are being provided the resources, the kitchen, the restaurant, whatever it is, to be making your food. In other words, your content. Now let's take that analogy further. A big named brand such as Mickey D's decides to release their new hot Cheeto fries. People are gonna look at that and they're gonna be like, oh my God, Mickey D's hot Cheeto fries? What the heck is going on? Versus your mom and pa local shop on the corner of Main Street deciding to sell hot Cheeto fries. Like, no one's gonna really know what that is and no one's really gonna care. You have to make yourself known first before you can get that kind of traction or attention that people are looking for. One of the two ways that can help you is by focusing your work on, one, getting people to click your thumbnail, and two, getting people to find your comment in YouTube search. So for the first one, I see a lot of you deciding to post some random screenshot of whatever game you're playing, or you'll be copying something like BlueVivacity. The reason why this doesn't work is, one, a random screenshot does not engage the audience for you to garnish a click, nor does copying BlueVivacity garnish a click because the market is already too saturated with people already doing that. And you as a small creator are too much of a special snowflake that people need to be seeing what you provide and what you bring to the table, not what a copy of. Hold on, there's a cutscene going on. Now, if this isn't cheesy, I don't know what is. Anyways, so focus on making an engaging thumbnail that's different. If you want me to do some kind of video on thumbnail creation or whatever the case is, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to make a video covering that. But a quick tip that I can give you is that making your... God damn it. Make sure your thumbnails have a focal point. What I've noticed in the Sonic community, a good focal point is to use Sonic as part of the thumbnail. Now, as for the other part, when we're talking about searchability, something that people do not realize is that YouTube recently changed the way the algorithm works. Tags are no longer effective at driving traffic to your videos. Now, obviously, you can still put tags, but either way, it's still not going to be effective at telling YouTube what your video is about. Instead, it is now concentrated on your title and your description. Going back on that restaurant analogy, if you're providing Italian food, you can't just name your video restaurant because that doesn't mean anything. And it's funny because I see a lot of people putting stuff like, oh my God, look at this Sonic mod. Okay, well, that doesn't necessarily tell me anything. It tells me it's a Sonic mod, but there's dozens of those out there. YouTube is not going to be able to place where they're going to put it towards your audience. I understand that you want to make one of those clickbaiting titles. However, YouTube, again, does not see that or value that. Now, on the subject of clickbaiting, many of you might not know, that opinionated titles or wow factor titles are not seen as clickbait in YouTube's algorithm. Because opinions aren't going to be facts. Opinions are always going to be, opinions. So they're not going to be necessarily wrong. Like, for example, if I'm describing a dish, such as a salad, right? If I want to sell a salad, but me saying, oh, look, this is an organic salad, you know, it's going to garnish more attention than if I just said it was a salad. But on the other side, you don't want to be saying, oh, here is a gluten-free Caesar, because that's completely untrue. Caesar consists of croutons, which is not gluten-free. What you're actually saying is a lie. Lies or actual clickbait is frowned upon the YouTube platform, and YouTube can recognize it. Now, of course, this is a tactic that many industries use, but opinionated titles can also cause discussion, which, good or bad, in the eyes of YouTube, a comment is an act of engagement, and that further pushes your video out to a bigger audience. All right, finally. Look at Shadow. Come on, look at that smile. He looks like he's happy destroying everything in his wake. Even though he got a C. Anyways, redirecting back to the focus of the video. Whoa. Okay. Hold on. Stop it. Stop. Hello? Hello? I don't think that was meant to happen. Anyways, so back to searchability. Making sure the keywords that you're using is both in the description and your title will effectively help the algorithm or your restaurant figure out the type of meal it needs to send to the proper guests. And again, this is something that a lot of small creators need to focus on instead. You're not able to be found any other way. So again, focus on searchability. Just like how Rouge is searching for these keys, I am giving you the keys to success. If I can find this last goddamn key. And again, by no means am I the best of the best when it comes to this stuff. I can miss the mark as well. I'm not a perfect person. But what I'm saying isn't exactly incorrect. All right, got the last one. Perfect. All right, let's get through all these people and just ignore it. Ooh. The amount of lag though? I'm just gonna race my way to the other side. I don't got time. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, that was a close one. Anyways, I can't stress it enough. Searchability, searchability, searchability. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is being able to hold your audience's engagement, especially in the Sonic community. We have the attention span of, well, like Sonic, you know, so we need to see something different every few seconds. Now, how do you go about doing that? Again, I won't go into specifics. I'm only going to give you some general tips, as everything depends on what kind of content you're serving, if you're doing funny content, gameplay, whatever the case is. Making sure that you're putting something up on the screen or shifting focus every few seconds is key to keeping your audience's attention. You know, obviously in my videos you see that I have like a jump cut every few seconds because I do not want you guys to be bothered by all the boring parts of me fumbling over my words. Another good way is being able to have text on your screen or something that people can see to have people focus their attention onto the screen. The best tip I can give you guys is being able to at least hold your audiences when they click on your video for about 45 seconds to a minute. That is when, in terms of, in the eyes of YouTube, sees it as a good thing and is most likely to get your content pushed out even further. I can't get over Shadows' smile. Look at him. Look at him. He's probably happy that he got an S rank. Look at that. Oh god, Crisis City. I already remember having a horrible time with this place. So hopefully my second time around is a little bit better. Anyways, I've had a lot of practice with dealing with jump cuts and putting flavor into my videos so that it's not entirely boring to look at. And that comes from me doing all my trailers and graphic design background. As you've noticed, I've moved that into the new type of content that I'm trying to make. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that the content that I'm making now is a little different. I can only make so much Sonic Momentum content because that requires me to have something worked on for Sonic Momentum. And that's already difficult as it is. Me learning to shift my niche around enables me to bring you topics like this to a video. I'm just basically sharing what I know and what I've learned and what I've seen. I've noticed that within the Sonic niche, people seem to absolutely hate my lovely, amazing supermodel face. I know. Unless you're well known, having actual video of you tends to have people click off. Don't know why. Could be that they're focused on having the gameplay rather than having to see a person. But as long as you're having some sort of personality with your voice, seems to drive engagement in a good way. So that's at least not out of the question. Also, side note, look at me doing so good at this level. If you guys saw my Sonic video where I played this for the first time, I was nowhere as good as I am now. What can I say? I'm a multi-guru, I'm multifaceted, I'm multi-talented, and I'm doing my best to give you everything. Ooh, ooh. What the heck? How did I die? That's dumb. Ow. Hello? Okay, are you... Okay, come on. Let's see, another tip is making sure your quality of the video is good. I mean, no one wants to look at a video that's been rendered by a microwave, you know? It seems like HD is the way to go. And if you don't have a powerful computer, I don't know what to tell you. Just be patient because my computer is also very much poopy caca, as I've stated multiple times. But something I do when I record is I will color correct my video to enhance not only the quality, but to, you know, make certain colors pop out because I like that cinematic kind of vibe, you know? So that's something different that I do. Like I said, it's all about you being unique. Stop copying other people. There's a reason why BlueVivacity and other people in that realm do well in that regard. Change things up. See what unique idea you have in your head and try it out. He's happy that the world's on fire.
Guess that was all right.
And that he got a B, I guess. And that reminds me, one last thing. As much as, you know, new content creators are in fact new, and there's a lot of things that you might want to explore, a really good rule of thumb is to focus on wow, that was okay. That was cheap. That was so cheap. So you want to make sure you're niching down. Think of it like you're constantly changing up your restaurant. You're an Italian restaurant and you suddenly decide to sell burritos and tacos and other Hispanic foods. What about the people who came there for the spaghetti? It basically freaks out the algorithm saying that, hey, I'm catering to these people that like spaghetti and now you're providing burritos. Like, I don't know what to do here. And that's why it might seem that your video isn't doing well. It might be a super great video, however, if you've already garnished a certain type of audience, it's not necessarily going to do well. And that's something that can be seen with what I'm doing. My solution to that is that making sure that you're at least providing other content that's more similar to the new stuff that you're doing. Don't keep doing a one-off video, as it'll just constantly reset the algorithm. And in the end, you're not going to be getting views from anyone. And I'm all for doing different content. You just got to make sure that you can sustain it with other videos that are similar. If you are a news channel, I suggest sticking with doing news. And if you want any way to transition these things, do something that's kind of an in-between. Provide news while also doing gameplay, or provide informative content while doing gameplay. Also, side note, this homing attack into Chaos Spear, for some reason, I'm really enjoying because I can just save myself like I just did there. The amount of close calls that I've had so far from that, oof. In terms of the refinement process, you want to take a look at your analytics. I can get into a whole different video about analytics, and you want to see that type of video, just again, go ahead. The comments are down there for feedback. But focusing on your analytics, it's kind of like, and I know I've been using the analogy of food and restaurant, but bear with me. Like, let's say you make pretty good spaghetti with marinara, right? And people are loving your marinara. Maybe they're not liking how al dente your pasta is. So, you know, you work on refining that little tiny bit, and then slowly but surely your recipe for spaghetti gets improved and more people start to like it a lot more. Again, it's reflective on the content that you make, you know? Once you are consistently bringing the same type of content and then slowly refining it, that's when YouTube starts to see it and starts to suggest it to a wider audience. I'm still far beyond that perfect recipe, but slowly but surely I'm working on it, which is why I'm consistently asking you guys for your feedback to see what you guys like, what you guys want to see. And again, side note, I'm also really liking this new approach to the homing attack. It feels so much more fun than just a regular homing attack. I will probably have to keep this in mind. Ew, again, why do we need to be yelling? I don't understand. All right, wow, that took a lot longer than expected, but at least Shadow's still smiling. Proud that he probably got an S rank, hell yeah. Look at me, I'm telling you, you guys said that this run was gonna be harder. Anyways, that's going to conclude this run of Shadow's part. Make sure if you want to see me do any other fan games or if you want me to cover any other topics, put it in the comments down below. I want to hear feedback. I want to hear from you guys. With that being said, stay tuned for the next part, and Mr. Bane out.